What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Tony Whoop. Today we're gonna tell you some stories I have about working in a cinema. We get a little bit spooky. I tell you one ridiculous thing that happened and what goes on when you're on night shifts at a cinema. I hope you enjoy the video, and if you do, you can watch it live, link down below on Twitch. If you do enjoy the video, please think about subscribing, and I will see you the next stream, baby. Bye! Some of the horror stories, I've seen some weird cinema, man. We were doing the final checks for all the cinema screens, and one of the screens that was checked, everyone had come out, and me and a friend of mine who I was working with, we walked in, and literally there was two people stone cold. Like, they were like proper just out, and by out I mean me and my mate, we were like, we had like these little sweepy things, we were proper jabbing them, being like, can you leave? And they just weren't doing anything. And so we had to get the manager and basically be like, yo, there's this couple and they're just like stone cold out in the cinema. And when you're that age, when you're in the cinema and you see people who are just not reacting to you, you obviously think the worst. So we got like security of the place that we were at to come up and take the people out. And I remember the guy, and he's like a proper 6'4", like built like a brick house, and was just ready to like throw shit. And he walked in and he just went and he proper, like, we didn't do much. We kind of like, we touched them, but we didn't touch them because that's weird. We kind of just poked them and was just like, come on. He proper went for it, like full force, hand on the shoulder, and woke them up. And surprisingly they were just like, oh. They weren't dressed very nice. They weren't dressed for a night out. It's like they've made a little bit of money somehow, and they've just gone to thingy. And I thought because of that, they may have like maybe overdosed, which is weird and a surreal moment in my life. But luckily they hadn't. They were alright and they walked out. I remember I did Avengers. I think I did the first Avengers movie opening night. That was hard. Do you want to know what makes it worse, right? Is I had handed in my notice in literally like a week before. My second to last shift, which was a close, was literally from 8:00 p.m. to 2 a.m. And it was the most insane thing I've ever done, because obviously you got to think, right? In that cinema, they had eight screens. Every single screen was showing Avengers, right? Every screen pretty much full. So actually no, we it was longer because we had to clean the screens because it was a 2 hour, because obviously at the point of playing the movie, which was at 12, and then that lasted until probably about 2:30, and then we cleaned. I don't think we got out until about 4. I've spent a night in the cinema before. We broke the ice cream machine. Basically the management at the cinema weren't great, and they basically allowed me and some of my friends to basically just chill in the cinema and just like do a full deep clean. And we aren't cleaners. We weren't cleaners. We didn't give a shit. We were there for the banter and just to be like, let's see what happened. We were just doing a deep clean of the entire thing. And I remember we started to clean the ice cream machine, or like it was like a milkshake machine, I think. And literally that milkshake, we didn't do it correctly, and we opened it up and that just poured out. We had no training on it. We literally knew how to pull it and serve milkshakes. That's literally it. And they were like, yeah, can you just clean that? Because that would be great. And then we were like, we can try. And I literally remember taking off because it had like these little bolts on it. And we were starting like doing them, and you just see like this like vanilla like just like pour out. And I was just kind of like, oh, that doesn't look good. A little bit more. Started coming more. And by the time we'd realised that we probably shouldn't have done that, it was already too late. Not my problem. Not my problem. I don't have to worry about it. We do not get paid enough to give a shit about what you bring into the cinema. No one's telling you to stop bringing in shit to the cinema. No one in their right mind. So this leads me on to my next thing, is where I was at like, where I was, there's like a podium, and it was like in the middle of a court, and you could look down to like escalators coming up. And I remember seeing this kid come in towards the cinema, and he put something in his top. And I was like, and he zipped it up, and I was just like, okay, I know exactly what he's done. But like he zipped it up thinking that he couldn't show it, and I was just like, okay, right, let's do it. And the kid came up, he brought his tickets, and I knew exactly who he was because I clocked his face, knew his jacket, and he did look suspicious as fuck. And I was just like, dude, what you got under your jacket? And he's like, nothing. Like, dude, what you got under your jacket? Come on. And I was just, I repeated it, and he pulled out some, like, you know those like toffee popcorn? And I was just like, dude, we don't care. Go in. Like, we're in like a mall. And we were on the top floor of said mall. And basically, we literally, like, I think three things below us was like a Poundland. Oh no, I didn't shake him. Nah, I'm never gonna touch a customer. Never in a million years. I just wanted to be like, dude, come on. I don't give a shit. I remember experiencing like someone spending 40-50 pounds like a cinema and just going, are you buying dinner? Is this dinner? Like the massive drinks, 6 popcorns. If you bought 6 popcorns, you're gonna have to like remortgage your house. Like I've never really, don't ever buy a hot dog don't ever buy a hot dog from a cinema. I will be the first person to say, do not do that. I'm really sorry if you had that in the past. Do not do that. We had like an ice cube machine out back. And I don't think I ever saw that cleaned in the 2 years that I was there. It was definitely a story to tell, to be honest. I think working in a cinema taught me a lot. Oh shit. So when working at the cinema, one of the things you had to do was you had to obviously take all the rubbish out and put that in like a bin and then go down, one of them really dodgy like heavy duty maintenance elevators. I remember always going down and always being like, there was one light that flickered as well, so it never like made it like decent going down there because you knew that you were just going to like freak the fuck out. Oh, have I got a story to tell you? So basically, when I worked in the cinema, it was like a midday shift, and I remember we started getting a flow of people, and it's always the morning showings films that are like a little bit weird because it's always the kids and obviously the kid films that come. And I remember this one time where this woman came in and she had like this bag, and I was like, oh, well, okay, what's that? Maybe it's just like sweets and stuff like that. And then I saw popcorn, like a popcorn box in the bag, and I was like, okay, right. And she came over to me, luckily, because I've now got this beautiful story to tell. And she went, oh yeah, no, I was here like 5 days ago, and I bought this popcorn. However, I didn't eat it, and so I was wondering if I could give it back to you and have a refund. As you can see, I haven't eaten. And I looked at them. I had to stop myself from laughing, just out of the sheer like shock of what she was doing. So I call up my manager, right, and no word of a fucking lie, she was just literally like, so I've got this woman here, I tell her the story, and she just goes, you're fucking kidding, are you joking? And I was just like, nope. She was like, I'll be down there in like 2 minutes. And she came down and she spoke to the woman, and the woman was like, yeah, so I just spoke to your colleague, and my manager just went, no. I'm really sorry, but if you would have probably spoken to us on the day, it probably would have been fine. But because you've waited 5 fucking days, that's a no-go. We're not doing that. And I remember storming out and waddling off. The amount of people as well, though, that when they brought Pick a Mix, didn't realise that per 100 grams, it's like £1.95, which is extortionate. They make a ridiculous markup on it. It's actually kind of insane. The amount of people who would just fill that to the top and just like hand it in. You go and weigh it, and then you just go, yeah, that's £15. And then they're like, what? It said it was like £1.95. Yeah, for 100 grams, dude. And I remember there was one guy who normally, right, in a normal situation, they go, oh, I don't want it then, and that's fine. We deal with it. We put it behind us, and then we get a pair of gloves and put the stuff back. But I remember one time that a kid did it, and the parents didn't realize that it was happening like that, and they brought it over, and yeah, you told them a price, and it was tickets, popcorn, and like drinks. So it was a lot. I think it came to like £60 or £65, something like that. Basically, the actual tickets at my place were relatively inexpensive at the time, because it was like we were trialing a new thing. And I remember the dad looking at the kid, going, "You're a little shit," and just paying for it. And I was just like, I mean, fair dues to the bloke. Like I said previously, we're not going to search you if you have alcohol. If you have a couple of beers, like, take it in. But the amount of people that spent loads of money. The worst shit is when, like, it was like 50 Shades of Grey was on the, like, 50 Shades of Grey. Every single person got like I think it was like Prosecco, and I was just like, why are you spending? So, and it was one of those shitty little bottles as well. Like, it wasn't even like a big bottle. Obviously, that would have been a ridiculous amount of cost. But it's one of those shitty little bottles about that big, and size of my head, like that big, like that girthy. And literally, the amount of people that brought that shit in the cinema when 50 Shades of Grey was on, it was weird. You are working at a cinema, things are gonna get spoiled. But to be honest, a lot of the shit that you show is the same old shit. And if you want to watch anything, you are watching it literally day one it comes out. So there's not a lot of time when you're getting spoiled. There were so many times when, like, there will be no screens coming out, and you would walk into a screen that is completely empty and just sit down for 15 minutes and watch a film. Like, you had a breakdown of every film that was coming out in a certain amount of times during the day, and you could literally plan when you were going to enter them, clean them, get out in that time span. Obviously, they go in once the film ends, they have to roll the credits, and everyone has to be out before you clean it. You have about 15 minutes to clean an entire screen. Depending on what's gone on in that screen, that could be a very, very difficult job. Like, obviously, when there's a lot of people, say for a major event, Star Wars, Avengers, that screen is gonna be busy. And I remember going into like different types of like screens, and it just be packed out of it. And then there's also screens that literally no one shows up to, and you can just chill. And it was just one of those kind of different environments that I kind of love, but there was so much drama, like so much. Like, everyone just had beef with everyone. Everyone was just sleeping with everyone. One of those things where you're just kind of just like, dude, come on, bruh. Come on, dude.